welcome back to Under the Table, episode 30. What? 30 already?
30.
You know what that means?
30.
Dirty.
You know what that means?
That means our podcast's knees hurt.
Yeah.
Exactly what that means, dude.
I was going to say that you get to reset your hero points, but oof.
That means we get 2 hero points, right?
No.
It takes us a while.
On a good note, our car insurance is a little better.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
That's true. So I don't know if this is a appropriate topic to talk about, but it seems relevant. We just had 4th of July, and you're also here in these powder keg punks hideout who seem to favor fireworks. Are you fireworks people?
No.
No.
I was when I was
right out the
younger.
gate.
Same. I let me put it to you this way: the booms and the bangs scare me, and they fuck with my ears. They screw with my tinnitus, so I can't really deal with that. And also, I had 2 sparklers, and I managed to burn both of my hands with 2 sparklers. That was the extent of my fireworks endeavors this year.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not a fan.
See, that was a sign right there.
And for
That you were
listeners, she did
acting within
hold
your
her
limits.
fingers
You
up.
got just a hair outside of your limits there, and you were
Was
punished
it
for
a user error? Probably, but I still
100% guaranteed.
100%. The packaging didn't
beside the
say
point.
you're not supposed to touch the
You
sparkle
get it,
part.
scrub.
Yeah, go and sue Fireworks Conglomerate. You know, I'm sure they all make them, right?
yeah, it's a no for me, dog.
I mean, I don't buy them, but if I would going to like a professional fireworks show, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to buy them and pop them myself. Those things are expensive.
That's the
It's over
problem.
like
It's
that.
Right, that's the
expensive,
thing.
yeah.
It's the poverty for me.
Yeah, that part. That'll do
I
it.
like fireworks, in short bursts, pun intended. I enjoy fireworks, like with the fam or whatever. But like after about an hour, I'm like, all right, I'm
That's enough of
fireworked
this.
out.
That's kind of how I feel.
Have any of y'all ever seen like a really just grand, like over the top fireworks display?
Yes. Yeah.
Disney,
Yeah,
Disney
great.
definitely
Yeah.
does a good one. I saw one at Stone Mountain.
Pensacola puts one up, I think, every year around this time, like over the bay.
I was surprised at how long and close and loud the Renaissance Fair fireworks, like when they closed the fair.
Yeah.
That you might as well be in the cannon, dude.
I don't-
Like,
Oh, wow.
Don't like it. Don't
Bring
like it.
earplugs in.
My
I
problem
guess.
with fireworks displays, cool as they are, is that when I was fairly young, I saw the Fellowship of the Ring the first time, and nothing compares to Gandalf. You know, popping the dragon
his fireworks,
fireworks
Yeah, it's
out.
really hard to beat a
good.
firework
Yeah.
dragon, you know?
It's too high.
So
Too
it's like
high.
from 12 years old on, I was just like, this is fine. It's
Yeah,
mid.
this is
you know?
fine.
yeah,
You gotta see
This
a
isn't
drone
realism,
show
I
now.
guess.
Like that's
yeah. The
getting
drone
closer.
shows are cool. Like I saw
I love
this
those.
Chinese dragon drone.
Yeah, that shit's rad. Like,
That is
I want to see
incredible,
a
yeah.
drone show real bad.
That's like because also one of the issues that I have is I live near the reservoir, and they do a big, huge fireworks show over the reservoir. And I don't like that they just shoot shit into the water. Like all of the explosion stuff, all of that stuff just like falls down into the reservoir.
Oh, the fish
And
will
it's
eat it.
like, I don't like it at all. And the same thing for like your yard. There's like
It's just heavy
little
metals, baby.
pieces of everything, and it scares
You know-
my dogs.
You know, I was thinking about that a couple weeks ago. Just like, there's all kinds of things in our yard. The idea of using a string trimmer to cut your grass. Tiny little pieces of plastic are flying everywhere, all over your yard at all times when you're using that thing. It's like there's plastic everywhere in every yard
No, dude,
in America.
We have to
Everything.
manage nature somehow, man.
There's plastic
Yeah,
in everything.
Yeah, the data
In
for like
everything.
microplastics testing in our food is frightening.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bad.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
bad.
Did you hear about the semen?
Yes.
go on.
Yes, I actually did. Yeah.
Yes. They tested a bunch of different semen samples from men across.
Oh, and have
The
macroplastic.
globe.
That's
Yeah.
not how I thought this was about to go.
Yeah.
Every single sample.
like, is there
every
semen
single
in our
sample had
water?
microplastics.
I mean, probably.
There's plastic in our semen.
Oh, no.
Everybody tested had plastics in their
That's
semen.
not good, y'all. That's
No? Mm-mm.
I'm no doctor.
Okay, just think about that for a little bit.
I'm sure.
Well, I can't
that
feel
you're
them.
not. Yeah, I'm sure you're not. I'm sure
Oh,
you're
no,
not spared,
anybody.
Emily. I'm sure you got plastic inside of you somewhere
Oh,
too. You know.
I mean,
Emily.
sorry. I didn't say anything.
Shameful.
I mean, that
We're at a podcast.
that for Emily that's a good one. A lot of the time I'm really disappointed in Emily. That
At
one
least
I'm
it,
like, nah, you went
tracked,
for
you
it.
know.
It was.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be too, you know.
It's funny that this whole thing is happening and you didn't even say anything. Like you're non-verbal.
If
You know?
you know.
Jesus.
We're within Emily's orbit.
That's what I appreciate about y'all. We don't even have to use words. We just go, and then it's funny.
We could use words though.
Let's not
I
ruin the
wouldn't be
mystique,
opposed.
please.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Coming at me with words. Ugh.
Well, speaking of mystique that was ruined, Oz bit the dust. How do you like that transition, John?
A young lad just lost
Cut
before
down.
his prime. Cut down before his prime. Really.
Yeah, poisoned down.
Poisoned
in fact,
down.
Ah,
By a snake of all things.
by a snake.
I ain't
irony.
laughing at you, but
yeah.
It's like a minotaur getting gored by a bull, you know?
Yeah, totally.
For
Exactly.
real. There's something like vaguely Greek tragedy about
yeah,
it. You know?
Yeah.
it's certainly tragic for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you should have been resistant to this poison.
Should have
You
been.
a snack?
In fact, he was. It just wasn't good enough.
No, it
The
just wasn't good
alternative
enough.
Greek myths where Medusa was like eaten by a basilisk. You know?
yep.
Yeah, right.
Right. They like both were coming at each other and just froze each other into stone. So they're just about to headbutt each other and
That's a
paralyzed.
classic Greek standoff.
Listen, y'all don't know, but you just mostly wrote some really interesting monster smut right there. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
Cool.
I'm just saying.
The
Look like they're
smart
about to
part is how
attack,
they
but
get
they're-
unpetrified.
Yeah. Come on, Achilles. Come on, let's go.
Achilles?
Yeah, Achilles.
I want my baby back.
No. Oh no.
It was rough when I had my Achilles heel surgery.
I just figured that would be how the porn version was pronounced.
All right.
Achilles.
I'm into it.
The
Yeah.
Alabama version.
2-for-1 special.
Oh, Oz.
Yeah, so we have to deal with that.
Achilles
Unfortunately.
delicious.
I'm gonna put on
baby.
the sad music to hopefully.
This
No,
music
we're
choice.
having too good a time. That's not cool.
That's not good.
It's a Oz montage.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's unfortunately not enough episodes to do an honest
There's
montage.
not. There's totally not. He was cut down way too early.
Yeah, so the snake is dead. Bitey is dead. And Oz's body laid there with, like, foam out of the side of his mouth. What do you do in this immediate moment?
I mean, I think Amir, just right after seeing the snake fall dead, would rush over to Oz's body, kind of like knows that what happened, but that your knowledge and your denial at the event is clashing. So I'm gonna, do my best with what knowledge I have to fruitlessly try to resurrect him, or just to try to, I'm like cleaning up bandages, wrapping up things as if he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Tears are running down my cheeks, but like I'm not like bawling or like sobbing. It's just like determination while I'm crying.
Yeah.
And just like, the typical scene you see in like ER of the doctor doing too much when everyone around them knows.
And I think
not
George
enough.
kind of slowly like walks up and puts a hand on your shoulder. And it's just like, hey, It's too late.
I know. He was only 19.
Jules is kind of like standing back, sort of behind George, kind of watching the situation. I mean, she's just barely standing. But, I mean, she was, until George said it's too late, you know, like actually broke the suspension of disbelief almost of like, maybe Amir can fix him, you know. She just kind of like shuts down, and like you see her like tilt her head down a little bit, covering her eyes with her hat, and she just kind of watches for a second. What?
I think Amir just stops what he's doing, and he's just like sitting there, just staring at Oz, just kind of like mumbling, you know, not really coherent, just. Oz, why did you have to stay? You could have got away. We could have done this. I just dropped my accent completely. This is Emir's
fine.
now an American.
Well, we've had a feeling you're, you know, a man of many cultures. I think George, you know, kind of slowly, respectfully walks up and drops down to one knee, you know, and just grabs lightly one of Osaze's hands in his hand and puts another hand on top of his, just kind of cups it there for a second, and then gently puts it back down and turns around and walks back to the door that we came in.
Jules looks over at Osaze, and she's just kind of like slowly nodding her head, and she pulls her gun out and reloads and follows George to the door. Doesn't say anything.
Emir stays behind. The sorry state of Osaze's body is just not repulsive to him, but he just can't reconcile Oz with what he's seeing in front of him. So he begins to clean Oz up and get him some dignity in death. You know, wrapping his bandages, cleaning up any fluids or whatever, you know, the foam in his mouth and everything, getting him into a respectful position. And I think once y'all are out of the room, he's not really thinking clearly, but he knows it might be possible in the future to bring Oz back once this is all done. So he's going to cut off one of his pinky fingers and stash it.
Oh shit! I decidedly
now he can't
do not see
snake
that.
heaven there.
Yeah.
He just brings out his dagger and just
Oh my god.
and then puts it in a vial with maybe some alchemical preservatives or something, or some reagents. And he kind of like numbly stands up, walks towards the door, and just looks back, and then proceeds out the door.
Yeah,
but I guess we could come back and get his.
Well, I think there's probably some immediate reaction that'll happen before that. But I'll say, when you guys step to the door and turn back towards Glass, you see him kind of like squirming a little bit in his throne, and like the confidence and normal, like, excited energy that he has is now he's like chewing his lip and almost looking like sheepish.
Yeah, and George, is this door closed?
No.
Okay. Yeah, George steps out. I mean, the eyes locked on Glass, you know, since he walked back up to the door. And I think he just yells his name, just Glass.
George, you beat him.
George takes a second to collect himself and not say something that might get his party killed. Because we are in a weak state.
When you take your pause, Jules like yells kind of over your shoulder, "Open the door!"
Wait, what?
Is the door not open?
The door's open.
Oh, well then why can't we?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me come out.
Pause. Game's paused.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I was like, okay, maybe it's like locked.
You know what?
or
He
something.
opens the door. All right.
You know what? You fucking better.
All right, I'll open the door. Why did you say
Damn
so?
right. Damn right you do.
Open the door.
So the door opens.
Yeah. So the door's open.
Drama.
Intrigue. Action.
Oh man.
No. So he's on his little throne.
He's on his throne. Yeah.
But yeah, George kind of like has to collect himself for a minute, like looks down at his feet, takes a couple of deep breaths, and then looks up at Glass and says, "Are you now satisfied with your stupid fucking little game here? Because I've got a dead friend to bury now."
Yeah, I really didn't think that would happen. I'm sorry. I just wanted somebody to kill this big snake that was costing too much to feed. I thought you could handle it. Look, we're square. Yeah, we're square, totally. Well, not really. I feel like I owe you now. But I mean, you did agree to a fight to the death. I'm just saying that it was outlined before we started, but I am sorry. I thought you could do it. I didn't realize how dangerous I had gotten, or maybe I did. All I'm saying is I owe you, but you did know going in. George, this is why you were so helpful in these situations.
You are as adept a lawyer as you are a gang leader, Glass.
All right. You don't have to hit so low. I understand you just lost a friend, but you know how much pride I take in being a gang leader.
Jules like starts to raise her gun.
And like all of the powder kegs that are up on the balconies, you just hear everything raise right towards you.
Fellas, ladies, come, let's. A lot of emotions are happening right now. Let's take it down. There's been enough bloodshed already. We're not killers, remember? George, remember? We're not killers. That's what you told us.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, if according to you, we are square, at least as far as I am concerned, what do we do now?
Well, look.
Instead of, I would like to not put a bunch of holes in each other. That won't get us anywhere.
So we have to make somewhat of an agreement here. We got to get things right. Balanced. I know you came here looking for me, but I also know you were looking for some more information. Right?
Yeah.
What is it that you want to know? I'll tell you anything. And then I got an offer for you.
Alright, time out. So we need to know, well, we know the guy that hired them, right?
Yeah, you basically just want information on that person.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought, but I was like, am I missing something? Yeah, so what was his name?
Shoma Lazaris.
Stroma?
Shoma.
Okay.
Show me what you're working with.
Shoma was a shake your glass. Let me stuff these bard tendencies back down. No, Glass is like, we came here because we need more information on an acquaintance of yours, Shoma.
Yes, Shoma. So sometimes this guy Shoma, right? He needs things that he can't buy, so he hires us to pick these things up, paying us with kegs of black powder or crates of alchemist fire. Well, this time he wanted that egghead Gattleby. Bigger bounty, bigger payment. We were supposed to get half up front, but he never delivered. Of course, we didn't deliver the goods, so great job interfering with that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Very violent, 5 stars. You guys did a great job. Anyway, now Shoma, he still owes us for the upfront. And he's kind of a prick on top of it.
I had assumed as much.
And so, he's staying down in Hellside, in some apartment. Here's the address, you know. And also, I'd like to, you know, one of yours went down, and I'd like to fill those ranks for you.
So which one of yours you want us to kill?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Although I understand that that's what you're feeling. It's valid. I understand.
I'm sorry, is this guy, are you using therapy speak at me? What is it? Like, Jules is like incensed.
Like he looks at George, like specifically, you know?
Yeah. And
like,
George,
like that's where he learned it from, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. It's come full circle, you know? This is my fault. I think, I imagine that you still have your gun raised, you know? And, George, like, lightly, like, puts his hand on yours to tell you to put the gun down. And, looks back up at Glaz and says, we are of a similar disposition. You beat me to the punch. I was gonna say, at the very least, you owe us a crew member. So who do you got?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I got this guy who collects monies for us. He has a particular distaste for the Shoma guy already. His name's Smoke. Come on down here, Smoke.
Okay.
George, we do not need any of these fucking punks to join
And
us.
George turns to you like with the intense mom glare, you know, like shut your fucking mouth. He doesn't say that, but his eyes say that, and he's like,
Listen,
"We do
I understand.
need the help."
Right. Listen to George. This is not a trick. I legitimately feel sorrow for your loss. And I want to... You can't go to Hellside. Just the 3 of yous. Let me help you here. You don't have to keep him forever. But at least he can help take you to Shomas. And shake him down.
Smoke, come on. And you see a hobgoblin come down the stairs. Smoke, John, would you like to tell us what they see?
So, Smoke is a blue-skinned, steel-skinned hobgoblin who accentuates a large physique as an enforcer would. He has tightly wound braids that extend from his scalp and hang loosely behind him. Think of a kind of a Viking braid. He is also what you would see has a lot of scars, just decorated through any of the flesh that he has that's exposed. You see various scars running down his arms, as well as his ears, along his face, and primarily the biggest scar that's of note that you may notice is that he's maimed in one eye, so he only has one eye, and just accentuated with a large scar in front. He carries himself with a kind of a straight posture, a militaristic posture, which seems to be different from some of the thugs and how their posture would be. He is clad in a lot of leather mixed with metal armor, such as a breastplate, and carries a variety of weaponry, long spear, a giant club, and some javelins.
Jules starts like twirling her hair with her finger a little bit.
George literally snapped his fingers
It's not the time.
Dude, like that instant, she's ready to shoot everybody in here.
No, wait a minute.
Oh,
Okay,
you didn't
hold
tell
on.
me you had a half one.
Tell me you had a snack up in here. Okay.
But no,
Reminder, Oz just
No,
died.
that was a joke.
I know.
George looks at, the new guy, Smoke, that walks up and then looks straight past him at Glaz and says, I don't expect this, but Glaz, this is a trying situation, so I'm trying to keep my emotions in check, but I just want you to know that if you get it in your little head to double cross us with this guy, he's gonna end up at the bottom of the Eustrati River.
You hear that, Smoke?
So would you.
Don't mess up with them. For me.
And just kind of a curt nod. That's all he's doing. Yeah.
And I did
listen,
say, and so would
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
you
Amir
didn't
was
hear.
like,
I heard you. That's why I said for me.
for me. Not
Yeah,
just-
don't mess this up for me.
So he gives you the address, and he's also
There's a small crate that came from Shoma last. You can have whatever's in it.
and you see on the shipping label Hollow Manor Estates Hillside Apartment I-1. That's Lazarius's apartment, and then what's in the crate is bottled lightning moderate.
Okay.
Amir grabs it and throws it at Glass.
In
Six of
Amir's
them,
mind.
actually. 6 of them, actually.
He grabs him and throws all 6 of them at
All of
Glaz.
Yeah. Take that.
Quick
They,
succession.
I put them in the party stash
Okay.
sheet, so.
Okay, cool.
And then he says, listen, too. You seem pretty handy with all the concoctions and bombs and stuff. Yeah. You?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're pretty mad, right?
Great observation.
Right, so I listen, I do want to keep things square. It was a long way to get here just for me and George, and don't really want this to continue as, like, for the next 100 years kind of deal. Like, I'd like us to all be cool when we walk out of here. So I'm gonna give you something. Now, you can choose to ingest it whether or not you want. It will permanently change you, but it's for the good. To make you resistant to. You might have could have used this earlier. That's why I'm being hesitant. It'll make you resistant.
Motherfucker.
Specifically,
Should have gave me this earlier.
alchemical poisons and drugs. Okay.
Sorry.
And what, are you an expert in fortitude saves?
I imagine as a alchemist, that's one of the ones. Yes, I am.
You are going to get a bonus feat called Inured to Alchemy. So each of your successful saving throws against an alchemical poison or drug or addiction reduces the stage by 2 or by 1 for a virulent, versions of those. And then critical success reduces it by 3 or 2 for virulent. So it makes...
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's a bonus feat. It's right out of the back of the book. So there you go. I'm being really
It's
sweet
just like
here.
yeah, you are being very sweet. Yeah, and I'm just I guess I take it and I look at Glass and I'm like, I appreciate the concoction, but we are not cool, as you say. This is only one tiny step.
Well, like,
All
basically.
this life was worth more than all of yours.
Let me define cool. I'm sure he was.
Oh, please do. Please educate us on what cool is, Glass.
I just mean, I'm not going to send any more of my folks to kill you, and you guys don't try to kill me. That's the cool that I'm trying to get to.
That's the exact kind of cool I want us to be.
Cool.
Cool.
Yes, I pinky promise.
Okay.
Oh, that's creepy considering what you just did.
That's not creepy. That's fucking metal.
Yeah.
Por qué no
Amir
lo
is
estás?
no longer
Yeah.
Amir. He is hardcore Amir now.
Oh my god.
My new band's playing at the Hippo next week. You should come see us.
Cool.
Pinky Colors Inc.
Oh, wow. All right.
My Chemical Bromance.
Oh.
So, right. All right.
All right, so smoke, as it were. Come on, we got work to do.
All right, yeah.
So Smoke
That's the
wordlessly
voice?
joins
No.
the group.
No,
No, it's not the voice.
Smoke has not spoken a word since then. He's a hired hand, as it were, at this particular moment.
Right. I mean, unless Glass has something else to say, like, my next thing is once we
Collect.
leave. Right.
Yeah. So where are you going?
So that
Gotta
as soon as
Osaze.
we left it, yeah, we got to get Osaze's body. That's going to be a whole, that's a whole ordeal as well.
That's going to be a thing. Y'all have to figure that out.
I mean, we could just dump it down the drain here.
It raises her gun again.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not cool, Glass.
Not cool, Glass. Damn it.
There's a psychopath that just has to keep reminding himself that, oh yeah, I gotta have the semblance of emotions.
Right.
All right, so I mean, at first I was a little discouraged because I was like, this kind of like throws a kink and stuff. But actually, sorry, John, I kind of love making Smoke, carry a body as soon as he comes in.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's fine. That's what he's there for.
Yeah. So George is like,
That's what he's there for.
Right now, he is the beast of burden.
right. And George would be kind of treating you as such, like I don't think George is too pleased to have you in the gang, but he knows he needs the help. Or not the gang. I called us a gang. We're not a gang. We're a crew.
Smoke would not be offended at that. I mean, have roles to play, and this is his role to play right now.
But yeah, so George would be like, all right, Smoke, first job, I'm going to need you to carry the kid's body. We got to go, do something honorable with it instead of throwing it down a fucking drain that goes to Eustrati.
So, yeah, when he does, he just has a quick regard for it, but then he kind of picks it up. But not in kind of the way that his posture and his how he would look. He tries to pick it up more respectfully, as if he were still living, and if he was just injured,
Okay, well that's good.
And I think Amir would have like, I don't know if I have the materials to like wrap him, but I wanted to at least prepare his body just a little bit
for like repose, so to speak. Yeah, I get you.
Wrap him up and getting ready for a funeral.
So here's my thought, right? Is we obviously want to try to probably not get noticed by the authorities carrying around a dead body. But so maybe take back alleys, whatever, but go back. I don't know where to take him other than the Barrel and Bullet, right? Like we don't really have contact with his family.
And remember that you guys do have the sewer maps.
Yeah. So I think, if that's the safest way, then that's what we do. But get it back to the Barrel and Bullet, and then I presume once we get it there, our delightful benefactor can take care of the rest. And then my thought was, once we handle all that, I imagine there will be kind of a somber tone, almost like a wake. But then we could, at the Barrel and Bullet, like have a couple drinks and maybe talk to / interview Smoke, away from Glass. That's my whole thing. I don't want to say a fucking word to Smoke in front of Glass,
Same.
Okay.
And I think Amir would be pretty adamant about like how Osaze's body is treated, and you'd be adamant on a burial, and to know exactly where his body is placed.
Well, and maybe when we get back to the barrel and bullet, like, is it Phoebe? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe Dunsmith, right? Maybe we go back, we tell Phoebe what's going on. We imagine she's going to kind of take over from there. But maybe you go with Phoebe and you help, like, care for the body and get it set up and stuff. And maybe me and Jules go to the bar and kind of talk with Smoke, you know?
Yeah. Emir has no desire to talk to Smoke. Like, he's seething. Like, why do we need this?
Sure. Which is
guy
part
here.
of why it's like, all right, let's,
why
find
don't
you,
you
find
take
you
a-
something constructive to do, you know?
Take a
Well,
lap.
and also, you know, you
right.
guys will probably want to sleep before going to Hellside
Yeah.
because you're pretty.
Well, yeah, that was my
Hellside. You mean
that was my
Smokeside?
imagined end of the day.
I mean Hellside.
Hill, H-I-L.
No,
Hell.
hell. It's called
H-E-L.
Hellside.
It's like a cliffs. It's on the cliffs of Alkenstar, and it's like
Oh, is that
border
the
of
shanty
Arizona.
town kind of thing?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha. I completely forgot about that. Okay.
So yeah, so I guess I think that's a good plan, and I think we should just do it.
Yep.
So
We do it.
we'll fast forward through the sewers, and fast travel, as it were, to the Bullet and Barrel. All right, and you guys have your little secret access and get Phoebe in there, and she says, "Oh dear, what happened?"
Fucking Glaz playing his games. We had to fight his pet snake, and the irony is it took down our friend here. Killed by a fucking snake. Jesus Christ.
As you
Oh,
are
I'm so sorry.
as
So
you're
sorry, George.
explaining it to Phoebe, I don't know if you noticed this, but Jules keeps cutting eyes at you, George. Like she's getting more frustrated, and it's harder for her to like keep it under control. Like the more you talk about the situation, but she doesn't say anything. So I didn't know if you wanted to roll or that's just a thing that's been. But I did want to say that.
I think for a while he doesn't even notice. You know, like he's kind of caught up in the everything that's going on, and like it's funny from my perspective. You know, like we went in this whole Glass situation not knowing what was going to go on. George kind of strutted in there a little cocky, you know, with a bit of a vendetta, thinking I'm going to fucking tell them what for, and then had his whole undercover thing revealed, and then we had the snake thing. So it's like, in a movie, the undercover thing would be the main plot, right? But then we had a big old snake combat and somebody died, so it's almost like that got forgotten for a minute, you know, which is why he doesn't really notice the animosity I feel growing until, you know, after a while when we spend a while carrying the body through the sewers and stuff, and it's probably not until we almost or get to the Bullet and Barrel that he starts to notice that you're being cagey.
It gets very obvious when you start like telling Phoebe what happened. So yeah, but she doesn't say anything, but the vibes are there, man. She's fucking pissed.
Right. Well, and he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, once he notices, like, he doesn't want to broach it in front of Phoebe or Smoke.
Yeah.
You know, so like.
Well,
he's-
to that point, Phoebe's like, "All right, and who's this that you brought with you? You brought a powder keg punk into? I mean,
this.
I would think we wouldn't bring him to Phoebe. We would just like
Stay here in the
leave
bar.
him in the bar, or like tell him to do something, because the whole situation between us and Phoebe is like between us and Phoebe.
yeah.
Like we're not bringing in some like powder keg punk to
Like he would have
get in
come
on the plot
up
to.
through the thing with
Yeah,
us.
just
but
go
then
hang
we
out in the
could-
bar.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
go wait at the bar and we'll come
Yeah.
talk to you for a minute. Yeah.
Right.
So George turns back to Phoebe and is like, I know this is a weird situation, and I agree with that, but Smoke is Glaz's way of making amends or trying to get us to be cool, as he said, over the whole Oz situation. So,
well, he can't know about the Grand Duchy and that you're agents of the Grand Duchy.
he doesn't.
Okay, we gotta keep. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's the whole what we're doing here. We can't trust anybody with that, or else our plans to take Moglen and Loveless down will be screwed. You know, if it gets out at all, that if Loveless gets any breath of this, she'll lock it all down.
Well, look, as far as Glaz is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as you should be concerned right now, Smoke works for me.
All right, George. I feel like I don't have a choice but to trust you on this, but I just need to impart how serious this is.
I
If
understand.
it gets out, I can't protect you. You'll be on your own. All of you.
I understand, and I agree with you. We're adapting to the situation as it comes, but you know as well as we do, we're gonna need help. So,
Yeah, I mean, Alkenstar is a dangerous town, and being honest, it's not surprising that one of you didn't make it.
yeah.
People die a lot.
If we keep dropping like that, I mean, this is never gonna get done. So, look, I appreciate your trust, and believe me when I say we're gonna feel out the situation with Smoke. He seems very capable physically, if nothing else.
Smoke is your problem, George, and I'm not being rude. It's just the less I know about it, the better. All right.
Good.
Now, what do you want me to do with Osaze's body? You can't go around with that body.
No.
I'll make sure that it's taken care of.
Yeah,
What do you mean by taken care of?
Whatever arrangements that you think Oz might have wanted, I'll make sure that it's done.
Yeah, and George kind of twiddles his thumbs a little nervously and looks at his feet, and he feels guilty before he says this, and it's just I didn't know the kid well enough to know what he would have wanted to do, and looks at Amir and is like, do you?
I wish I did. We've only been at this for how long has it been now?
Like
a couple days?
A week, I think.
A week.
Do we know what do we know about Vishkanya?
Vishkanya.
Vishkanya.
Miskenya.
We know his love interest, nest mate. I forget what their terminology was, but
Childhood friend. if nothing
childhood
else.
friend. Yeah. That's his only connection.
Yeah, we
now,
know
right?
and we only barely know
Yeah.
of her at all. We don't know how to get a hold of her. We know she presumably is in the city somewhere.
Yeah.
we have no way of getting in touch.
Amir knows. Amir definitely knows. He's been there.
Yeah.
So I would say he has this childhood friend that he loved or had a crush on, but that's the only family I know that he had. Everyone else was gone. He has no one in this world.
Yes.
And if we give the body to her, she will just be implicated. So
I think the best thing to do is to just
Eat him.
no, don't do that. Don't
We're
do
not
that.
gonna eat it. Phoebe, what's wrong with you?
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
All the
I'm
respect
starving.
you've earned, you just threw in the garbage. Threw it to the bottom of the Ustrati. No, I think George is just look, I shame myself not being able to more clearly know what to do, but I would say the best thing is just find somewhere humble but respectful to bury him.
I agree. And I need to know the location. Is all that I want. Do not profane his body. Leave it as is and bury him with respect.
Well, and I think George at this moment takes. I hate making him a schemer, but it's he wants to get a minute with Jules and Smoke And it's like, well, Amir, would you want to kind of see over the arrangements here? Make sure his body's kind of wrapped up and treated respectfully and stuff?
I think that I'll be able.
George, it's my duty.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to help out keeping just one of you disguised at least. If you want to come with me, Amir, I got some friends over at the Church of Bry that we could bury his body there. And they'll treat it right and with respect, and his name and everything will be kept forever. I mean, those Bryites really keep their records. And as I said, I got some friends over there, so
that is acceptable. I'm not familiar with what kind of god Oz venerated, but this is as good an outcome as any in this situation.
well, here's a toast to fire whiskey to the kid.
Slither the kid.
Slither the kid. Yeah, okay.
May he rest in peace.
And so, I imagine you want to get sleep now, and then the next morning you handle your businesses, or like what's your move after this?
Well, are they doing all the his body stuff tomorrow? Like, are they just keeping the body here overnight?
Yeah,
I think I would do it until tonight, kind of.
Well, it is tonight, right?
Or until I go to bed.
Because you got back here around 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that late. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was let's go ahead and have a drink with Jules and Smoke, but I mean, I guess we can do that tomorrow.
I mean, you can do that.
Yeah,
that's fine. The two of you can go down to the bar and find a little corner to talk to Smoke. Amir, you're just going to be sitting with the body, trying your best to keep it in a repose situation.
And he's I guess to try to find some stability in his mind. He's gonna basically sit with the body, yeah. And he might even just set up his bedroll where the body is. And sleep.
You might also want to go through respectfully, but go through his possessions and stuff and see is there something he would want to be buried with and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know of his locket.
Right, so you would definitely want to.
And so I'm keeping that, and I do plan on.
I mean, he's got some stuff,
Yeah. He's just gonna have basic clothes on when he gets buried. He's not gonna have his equipment.
It's like, look, I love Slither the kid as much as anybody, but also loot the body.
Let me get that weapon siphon back, though, please.
That's right. Right. I was thinking I would just kind of I can't use wakasashis, but I would take it.
I mean, in all seriousness, joking aside about, loot the body, we don't have a lot of resources and we have an uphill battle. It's it's kind of like if you were, in World War II, sorry, my fallen brother, but I'm going to take your gun and take your rations because I need to keep going,
I'm going to put it all in the party stash.
There you go.
You guys can deal with that later.
As far as the gold and everything, obviously Smoke would not be a part of that, but I already kind of went through the expediency of dividing it by 3. All of y'all can add 12 gold, 5 silver, and 7 copper pieces to your wallets.
That in the chat.
Sure. Yeah.
Even in death, such a kind boy.
Such a good boy.
Oh, such a sweet little snack.
I think it's just
snack. Did you say snake or
snack?
Snack? Yeah.
No, it's a snack.
That's a hot dead guy.
Snack.
We've traded in our snack for a snack. It's fine.
Yeah. I know you're joking, but I'm just imagining George be like, is this going to be a fucking problem? Am I going to have to keep you off of Smoke?
You know my secret.
I think that before we have the conversation with Smoke, John, I want to give you some time right here to say your final words for Oz, just as a player and your experience with Oz.
Oz, I feel, has absolutely no regrets for this decision. Every time he got back up, he was ready to fight again because he believed that he was stronger with this crew. And this crew helped him stay alive long enough to help protect them. And with y'all's help, this would have been much more of a catastrophe than it had to have been. So he gladly laid down his life for everybody.
Yeah, because Oz never backed down.
No. I mean, because, and this is just on the meta side, but if he would have moved away just 5 feet to extend an action, that's not a guarantee that the snake would have came after him and it would have taken somebody else out. And that's just not even a thought for Osaze. He was always community-minded, and y'all were his community.
If Oz could say one thing to the group now, what would you say?
Gosh, I'm putting on the spot there.
Hide my snake porn collection.
It was actually triple penis.
Man, you're putting me on the spot here, Adam. I don't know. Condense his life into a few words for
No, I'm not that. Like,
There's
just
so much pressure.
It's more. It's not about.
Yeah, his spirit is hovering over us.
What's he say to the group? Not, like, what parting words does he have to the group?
Okay,
so
all right, yeah. He would want to convey that to take out Loveless. Let nothing stray you from this path. His vengeance is now in your capable hands. Okay? Take out Loveless for him.
Yep. That is all Amir's identity now.
I mean, he died on vengeance, and he in his biggest milestone in life was born out of vengeance, out of hatred, and it's tragic.
Yep.
All right, now I want to ask. Got a little bit of what's going on with Dustin. What's going on in George's head? Not what he's going to say to Jules, not what he's going to say to Smoke. What is going on in George's head right now?
I mean, it's a weird mix of feelings. I mean, obviously, grief for sure, though. Like, he didn't know Oz that well, so I don't think it's like losing a family member. I think in a personal and sort of selfish way, it's more a sense of guilt than grief about getting Oz into this, about his past getting Oz killed, even though he thinks the situations of that are unfair and stupid and Glaz is stupid. He feels like it's his fault, that's probably not wholly the truth, but that's definitely how he feels. As far as the conversation before the whole Glaz thing, or the whole fight happened, where he was pretty much outed as being a rat, as an undercover cop. Like, that would go through phase, initially panic, but then you have to own that shit, and that's what he did. Like, if nothing else, George is adaptable, like he has had to be that his whole life, especially his criminal / undercover criminal life, is like, whatever the situation changes, like, take control of it, manipulate it, And so in a weird way, he knows this is going to come to a head with Jules, if nothing else, but it almost is a relief, right? Like, he's been holding on to this secret and this baggage for a long time and had been living kind of a double life. And so, at least in terms of the people that he's close to, Jules being the closest one, even though they have a fraught relationship, it's like a Band-Aid getting ripped off, where it's like, okay, well, it's out there now, like, there's going to be some blowback, there's going to be some unpleasant conversations, but, like, at least I'm not holding on to it
Yeah.
and keeping it tucked away and like scared at any minute that this might get revealed on me. You know, so there's a weird relief mixed with this guilt and frustration.
And Emily, what is Jules simmering inside?
I think that is a very good. Actually, no, we've moved past simmering. I think she was simmering in the sewers. I think she was mad.
Gross, but okay.
I think I think she was mad when he was telling Phoebe about everything. We have to still go talk to Smoke, so she's gonna have to sit on this a little bit longer because we're not gonna air our dirty laundry in front of the new guy. But she feels like a layer of betrayal, and then you add the grief of one of your members was just cut down, and it's too much because like there's just the idea that her brother, even though they aren't really close, but the idea that he had been keeping something that big, especially from Jules because of what she does, it's just like that pulled the rug out from under her, and then Osaze died on top. So she is just, the only energy that she really knows what to do with right now is anger. And so I'm just going to go ahead and apologize to Heath in advance.
Well, no, but I mean,
Nice.
that's, you don't have to do that. I want to dig into that just a little bit longer because I'm curious very specifically about that sense of betrayal, right? Like, he wasn't undercover ratting on you, you know?
She doesn't know that. She didn't know you were undercover. So it's like,
Well, but he was very
say what
clearly
he's doing?
undercover in a specific spot. Like,
Yeah, but you gotta
Was it?
understand, in that situation, it's like, oh, what I thought I knew, I
Yep.
don't, and now I question everything.
Yeah,
sure, and that's why I asked the question. Is it like, is there a fear there that it's like, would he?
Interfere
take
with
me
gun
down?
running operations,
Yeah.
right?
And even not even necessarily specifically like, for me, like fear for myself, but just the idea of I don't know because I didn't know this thing about him.
Right.
So it's like it makes you question everything.
Yeah, it's like thinking back on your memories and it just tinting your memories in a new color. Like,
Yeah.
well, how can I trust this guy that I thought I knew when he
Questions to
something
be
so
answered.
big?
Questions to be answered. Confrontations to be had. Next time, we'll see.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Thank you.